Apresúrate, tienes 10 segundos para dar me gusta y suscribirte usando tu dedo meñique. No muchos pueden hacer esto, así que si lo logras tendrás buena suerte.
Chicos, para esta nueva temporada estaré dando 1000 pavos en cada video, pases de batalla y cuentas chetadas con skins que a todos nos encantan. Solo debes suscribirte con la campanita activada, dar me gusta, comentar algo sobre el video y tu nombre en Fortnite para poder agregarte. Disfruta del video.
Chicos, hoy veremos jugadas muy épicas y divertidas, así que asegúrense de ver el video hasta el final, dar me gusta, comentar y suscribirte con la campanita activada. Disfrútenlo.
Chicos, crea un Discord en el cual podrás conocer personas para jugar a Fortnite u otros juegos, y para comenzar estamos sorteando 1000 pavos en Discord. El ganador se dará mañana y habrán sorteos y eventos cada 2 días, como también partidas personalizadas casi diario. Tenemos salas para que compartas tus clips de Fortnite, tus memes favoritos y hasta tu setup. En todos podrás ganar recompensas. Hay niveles y rangos en el servidor que podrás ir desbloqueando. ¿Qué esperas por unirte? El link está en la descripción. ¡Te esperamos!
Here, it's the last game number 6 of the FNCS NA East Grand Finals, and we're here to bring home all of the action. It has been such an intense 5 games, an intense 2 weeks of competition. But it's a question, will BUGHA, who just had a huge stride all the way back up to top 5, hold out and take it home? Will Accept do it? Will Class do it? Or will Coop maintain the strong lead that he has set out before him? Monster D-Face here in Aussie Antics, and the battle bus is already laid out. And take a look, our competitors are here. They're on the field already.
And they're ready to play. Someone has to pick up the pace here if they're going to catch up to Coop. And is it going to be Class? He's had an average elimination of only 1.8. He's been the slow and steady, consistent player. Does he stick to that? Does he stay slow and steady and hold on to maybe a top 3, top 5 second place? Or does he pick up the pace? Because unless Coop goes down right now, very early on, Class needs to do something different if he wants to take over the lead. Coop has put such a control on this lobby. I talked about it when we were watching Class. Someone needs to jump up and put the pressure down. Who is it going to be? And it's been Coop. It's been the story of Coop today, but a lot of other people want their story told. BUGHA, someone who's used to the limelight, catching up from behind, a position we don't often see him in for solos tournaments, but as you saw earlier with that statistic, he plays so strong in his final few games. And if you're looking for anyone to jump up and have a huge 2 strides, because we saw 1, it's going to be BUGHA.
That's right, BUGHA's already done it. Players like Young Tauk have done it as well, thrusting themselves up, as did Crims too. So these are all of our vets that are showing that they can still turn up in the final moments. We talked about players like Reverse who were able to do it as well, and that's what we talk about, the mentality from the champions, being able to step up to the plate when it matters most. Either way, though, there's a lot of action unfolding here. Here's the highlight from Class and how he picks up one of his first eliminations onto Slim from downrange. And oh my gosh, we get the shot from 2 perspectives there, Aussie. That was disgusting.
We get the bystanders as well, sitting on the rocks, the little coral just watching out, seeing that unfold, and that was brutal. But it's another point for Class, and it's another point closer to Coop. We haven't seen Coop in the feed, so he hasn't gone down, but he hasn't got a limbs too. So Class is edging forward, and those kind of eliminations are the big difference as we see Crunchy here setting up a bit of an ambush tactic, and I'm not sure who is inside this house, but he knows they're rotating out, sets up with the AR. Can he get the shots to convert? And yes, he can. Cracks the shield off, only has 1 minion, Lunez, who we've seen have a pretty rough day here today. World Cup solo qualifier himself, falling, not able to keep up with the pace. Unfortunately, something went wrong, and Crunchy gets a big refresh and a big jump up that he needed.
We're still going to give a big shout out to players like Lunez, players like Slim, and all the other fallen competitors already here in the last game. Their last chances out the window now because they are still the best of the best. We're looking at the 100 greatest in the region. Players like Blake proving that they have what it takes, even as the newer up-and-comers, the stars that have been around. It's their time to shine. Will Blake do it? He's got 34 points. This is a battle that matters a lot. We talk about $1,000 engagements, big money on the line, and Blake loses to CLIX finally in the early game because CLIX needs it. There's no alliances here, not in any drop spot, not in solos, and CLIX finds his 18th point there.
And you talk about solos, you talk about alliances. CLIX and Blake, 2 renowned teammates. They were duo modes until recently. They didn't duo in the last iteration of Fortnite, but they were teammates for so long, and there's going to be a bit of love lost there. Blake is going to be upset. We've talked about it. Blake has had some of the most heartbreaking eliminations I've seen today, either getting absolutely destroyed and beamed up from a player he can't see, headshot snipes, now getting into a box fight with CLIX, probably the last person on the map you want to have a fight with.
You can see it there. Things are still kicking up, though. It's BUGHA, though, on the rotate right now. Trying to make it happen here. You can see 37 points is pretty strong. He's on the rotate. He's trying to cut through the zone right now. He's doing so good. Even with players nearby, he's got to be super careful. This is entire setting on the line. His top 5 is up for grabs right now. As Coop still is alive. He's got 57 points. This is so clutch for Coop right now. All he has to do is stay alive, ride this tidal wave, sit on his surfboard, and bring it home. Will he be able to do it is the big question. He's hovering up above. Little does he know, there's a player inside the bush to the side there. Lucky for him, instincts are going to take over here. He's going to make the right decision. The decision to get closer to zone, to play into the materials that are right in front of him. But it's okay. He's got plenty to continue to farm up here. This late in the competition, or this early into this game specifically, he needs to continue to pick up the loot. He's got to get the brick. He's got to find the medal. The prestigious medals, so hard to gather. But I think he's going to opt out of all that just to stay alive a little longer now. FaZe Dubs coming out of Fortilla, we know he's been able to pull off these huge rotations, and he's got the loadout to make it work too. You can tell that he's got that vault loot in hand because he already has the launch pad secured as well, with the crash pads, with the 3 big pots. There's another player who's just stepped out of his zone so that he can gather up material now and take it into the late game. Still farming though. Just hanging out here. This is the intensity that we expect in a grand finals, Aussie.
Yeah, exactly. Dubs right now in 5th place on 37 points. He's got less than 1 average elimination. He is in 5th place with less than 1 average elimination. That is ridiculous. So Dubs looking to just continue his slow and steady format. He's not trying to jump up. He's probably noticed that Coop's got way too many points to chase up. And we keep talking about the top, but $500,000 on the line. There is nothing to scoff at about coming top 5, top 3. It's not all about first place here as Asia's trying to push up into a pretty aggressive fight that we haven't seen too many of today. And this is what's going to start to happen in game 6, where people are leaving nothing out there. They want to go. Maybe they're frustrated. Games haven't gone their way. They're going to back their mechanics and take fights they wouldn't otherwise take.
5 points separates Azers right now to the top 10. The big prizing on the line to do it is his wall. He makes the edit. He's looking to get the follow-up here. This is a huge engagement here for Azers, who's been doing well in the competition, just good enough to be in the conversation right now. And the point threshold is so close that he does not want to fall now, not to give away his positioning so far. Someone who also needs it is Jelty too. So on the line is the same thing for the 2 players. It's all the money. It's all the marbles, and that's it. He cashes in. Azers wins the engagement. He has just enough loot to fight his way out of the storm line too. There's someone nearby though listening into the battle. You can see the cursor there. It's Likura.
Oh no, Likura's lurking. This is a good spot to be in. He had good health, good shield. We'll have to keep an eye on the feed to see if that can close out. Aspect getting a group of Marauders falling on him, but nice builds there. Throws up the build and tries to cut off the sightline from the Marauders so they don't aggress onto you. It's a really good play. Marauders will only chase you if they see you for long enough, and I think maybe one of them spotted Aspect. No, they're not all making their way towards him, so he might be okay. Clearly not wanting to tangle with them. He's on the edge, and right now, Marauders could ruin his tournament on 24 points. He could jump up there as one of those veterans who's kind of come out of nowhere back into Tournament Monster. It's so great to see someone who was here at the very start of competitive Fortnite kind of drop off a little bit, not to maybe take it seriously, and then come back in a big way.
That is true here. Aspect trying to make something big of the rotate here now. You can see there's plenty of players nearby still hanging out at the Authority. Zone's already popping, pulling players to the north. That's where the pro players are going to start having to pull their focus in. We're going to have to start sliding their way all the way up here. Aspect gets the brakes put on him though. There's someone just outside of Salty Springs now putting in some shots. So he's going to have to stop here. He's going to have to heal up now. And this is digging into 2. Oh my gosh. The fact that he's using 2 shields right now just shows, it indicates that Aspect does not want to fall. He doesn't even want to leave anything on the table. It's use it or lose it in these situations. And I love it. He follows up with the hunting rifle. Beautiful shot right there for Aspect. And now the pressure's on though. It's game. He's on his tail here, Ozzy.
And someone's behind Gabe. It's like a little highway, that river. They're all swimming down it. They see that Aspect got an elimination. They're chasing him, chasing the loot. They saw him get cracked from the sniper rifle. And you love to see it. Aspect backing himself. He uses the 2 big pots, freeing up a slot for the sniper, and then instantly, within 5 seconds, gets an elimination that makes it worth it. That was a huge swing, but there was 2 players hot on his heels. People are picking up the pace here in NA East. They are going aggressive. So you have to look out for players like Coop, like Class, like Accept here to hold on to their lead and avoid those players, because they want to have their slow and steady games. They want to get to the end game. They don't want to get caught up in fights like this.
That's it. You're seeing it unfold right here, right now. Only 78 players remaining in the lobby. Everyone's on their final marathon push to make it through, to make their way up, to claw their way into that top 5, top 10. Players like Accept at 40 points are doing just that too. Remember, he's top 3 right now. Any of these engagements can quite literally throw him out of the loop right now, take him out of the comp. He's got to think long and hard before he takes these shots and fires off the cylinders at different players. And you can see right there, he holds back the reins. He decides, you know what? I'm not going to sit here. I'm going to get to zone instead. Maybe for him, it's about playing a little bit smarter and playing it safer for the placement points. Keox, on the other hand, has a little bit more of a gap to close here. He's got to play a little bit more aggro, possibly quite literally take a fight that he doesn't want to right now.
But I have to think Keox has picked up more points in these final games than almost anyone. BUGHA had the big run, but Keox, I believe going into game 3 or whether it was game 2, had 2 points. And then he got the massive 20-point game. But he's keeping that consistency going. He's had another big game on the back of that as well. So Keox currently in 7th place, but he's jumping the leaderboard. Yeah, he had a 6 elimination win in game 4, and in game 5 was a 7 elimination 19th. So this is a player that's leaving nothing on the line. He could have that big game to jump up that we've been looking for.
Completely dialed in on that one as well. 7 elims in a top 20. So Keox has thrusted his way all the way up. He's in 7th place right now. You guys forget that with every single point, Keox is securing his way and he's shutting out competitors, right? We're in game 6 now. If you fall out, there's no more opportunity. As players like Nanolite are still trying to find something, still trying to do something here. He hasn't been on the camera a lot today, but he's still been in the question. He's been in the conversation. He can still make his final ride into the last standings strong right now.
And that's it. That is the story of Nanolite. It's those top finishes performing so well, coming top 3 at DreamHack Anaheim, but still just a face you don't see a lot of, someone that doesn't get a lot of respect on him. He's so good in these stack lobbies, but he doesn't perform well in cash cups. Currently sitting on an average elimination of 1.6, so he is a placement warrior. He came 2nd last game, so he's looking really, really good here at the end, but he's got to keep going. He's got to keep pushing forward and try and make something happen, as these are the fights that are going to be the questionable ones. Can he hold his own when he has to fight mid-game, when people get aggressive and set up on top of him? He can't just play his safe placement game all the time, as we now slink inside top 75 and 1 placement point goes out. The first one of the game, Monster. As much as there's people going aggressive out there, there's plenty that are still playing safe and keeping this in true NA East slow and steady fashion.
That's right, and this could be a fight that will make or break Nanolite right now. This is a big fight, and the crash pad is actually going to send him flying out. And I'm not sure if that's a blessing or a curse right now, because Jack is well on his heels, and Nanolite has to make a big decision here. He can't sit here for much longer. If he does, it's an easy entry for the crash pad, especially with the weird terrain. Here it comes on the other side of the wall. Ooh. It's a charged shotgun. Well timed on the exit there. And he catches Jack. Doesn't make the edit fast enough, though, and now he's shot a few times. That opponent, though, is very far off in the distance. I think he's going to be okay here to heal up and stay alive.
Yeah, but it's win the battle, possibly lose the war. He's on the back foot now. I didn't see too many meds there, and he's not in a good spot. As you see Panda, who's out in zone, not in a good spot, has the meds, but needs to get in to have the time to use them. He's left this rotate very, very late, and maybe it's this kind of missed timings on the rotate that could explain the 11 points. Not too high up there, but what can he do? Are there players around him who are high up on the leaderboard, like Keox, that can be ended just like that? Keox in 7th place going down. The analysts talked about it. We've talked about it. In solos, every interaction matters. Panda has not a showing to get top 5, top 10, or even close, but he's just taken Keox out, and that's why it matters so much.
Fortnite fan, we got to give shout outs to everyone that's made it this far, even players like Keox. He's still probably going to hold a very strong positioning in the comp so far. It's been a long, grueling set of FNCS quals, heat, And now grand finals as some of the favorites are falling here. Even Dubs now, Tahita, who are still trying to say, hey, we made it this far for a reason. They are the best of the best out there right now. The crash pad across the field here just to continue to keep him in the game. And that's how Dubs' run ends now and Hita's story begins here. But is it too late? It sure is, because we're in the last run now.
Dubs falls. Dubs was pushing up there. He was in 5th place and he goes down, and that's just it. Dubs having an average elimination of less than 1 a game, so he can't conclude on those mid-game fights if they're taken. It is rough to see, and yeah, you have to give props to all these players, especially the ones low on the leaderboard, still playing their game into Game 6, Monster. They're not quitting. They're not giving up. They're still taking it seriously, and that's what it's about. This is practice at the end of the day. This is solos at the highest level, and you can improve on things every single time you play, as exactly trying to get some shots out here and getting player very focused. That's all it takes sometimes. You're coming in a little bit late, one player spots you and puts down some damage, and a lot of people are going to have eyes on you for a free elimination or some Storm Surge tags as well.
And this is a great position to be in now. You can see everyone down there. That natural low elevation working against them. Just off the rotates there, coming out the zone nice and late. On the other side, though, D-Roller alive in this game, healthy and well in the center. Has a good position on the zone here. It looks like this is a different end game. Yeah, we haven't seen the zone pull very often up here towards the northwestern portion. But finally, we do get a little love for the players that landed around here. We might be seeing, or maybe makes sense as to why so many other players are falling now. So many of the big names, because they haven't had the experience, at least in this tournament today, up in this section of the map. And that plays a big part into rotates and everything.
Yeah, you see there, CLIX was set up in the middle. On that elimination, he got on Blake. So he obviously has Pleasant Park now on lockdown. He got an elimination, got his Storm Surge, and hasn't had to move. He's just sitting in his box. So this could have been such a big game for Blake, but just like that, he goes down, and now CLIX has a chance to jump up there and maybe earn some extra money as Class in 2nd place right now. He came into this game 12 points behind Coop in 1st, so he needs to pick it up, needs to do something big. And as far as I'm aware, in Game 6 of the NA East Grand Final, Coop is still up and very much in the lead, and he's going to have to fall shortly if anyone's able to overtake this one. And that's why we have eyes on Class, because he's the one trying to do it, trying to jump up and take over that spot, and with a loadout to do it. 4 floppers, 3 crash pads, and almost max material. He's played this Game 6 as the same way he's played every other game, and now he's got 2 eliminations on the board, just kind of creeping towards that top 50.
That's right. The difference here is going to be eliminations. He's going to need to get closer and closer, gather more and more if he wants to take a stab at the throne here. It's only going to be down to Class. Players like Accept, BUGHA. Now that Dubs is out of the game as well. Because remember, coming in, Dubs was in 5th place. So now that he's out, that's it. There's no opportunity for him. He just has to hold strong for whatever prizing he can gather up towards the end here. On the other side, players that are climbing up. Nanolite, he bounced back from the terrible positioning on the outside of zone with the battle against Jack. He managed to make it work here, and now he's got a Vive on the backstorm line. He might find a freebie here because the Vive was tagged up pretty hard.
Vive was tagged up, and Nanolite, I don't know how he got his way back into this one, showing why he's one of the best placement players in this tournament, showing why he performs in big stack lobbies on the day, upgrading with the AR. He's trying to get the loot if he can, gets a bit more metal, gets a lot of metal, I believe, and now he's going to finish this one out, and Aviv goes down. You called him, Monster, gets that big elimination close to the 2-point swing as well, as that was just inside top 50 placements, as you see Calazo, Cody, and now Nanolite getting pressured in on exactly FN, who is currently in 8th place, pushing an aggressive fight, and there it is, eyes on Coop. He's looking pretty good, Monster. 150, doesn't have the full shield, but everything else, the positioning is looking pretty good, as Coop, no, it's not. 21 builds. Is this Storm Surge? He's 12 below on Storm Surge. This is your winner. This is your 1st place player in Game 6 in the lead with Storm Surge ticking. This player next to him knows, but as Coop does best, he comes out firing. Game 6, he's not going down. His story's not going to end like this. He wants to control it, but no. The third party comes in. Coop got his damage, but it might be too little too late. He's holding on to what little he has as it goes below 50, and Storm Surge changing up this lobby quickly. Coop could fall here, and maybe all eyes on Class, because Coop is looking the worst we've seen him all day.
This could still work though, even without the medium bullets. He has the 1 crash pad to rotate him closer to half and half out. He's got a little bit of favor going into his pocket right now. We'll see, because if Coop falls, this leaves the table open. This leaves the opportunity up for players like Class, BUGHA, or Accept to snatch away the crown here. We talk about a few things need to go in your favor, is one of them being Coop needs to fall. We'll see though. 0 medium ammunition. He can't do much right now. He is literally a sitting duck here with a charged shotgun and no follow-up. He's trying to
And
find
this is what
loot.
scares me. I think he needs to crash pad in. I think he needs to go for a fight soon. The longer he leaves us, the harder it's going to be to find. And there Blair comes out 10 health. Can Coop do it? Can he get the one charge? And no, he can't. Coop falls just inside top 50. 59 points. That is your mark. People at home who have just tuned in, first place has gone down on 59 points. So when we tune into players like Class, like Accept, like Booga, who have a chance to overtake them, 59 points is their target. The speed has been set, and they will have seen that in the leaderboard. They will have seen that in the feed. They know that he's down, and they know they have a chance now. They can smell it. Victory might be attainable because Coop has his worst game of the day in the last game of the NA East FNCS Grand Finals.
That's right. The opportunity for the biggest share of $500,000 is now accessible for everyone.
Accept now inside the cone. He's just sitting there right now. Still has 5 crash pads as well, so good loadout, but he's got a lot of people around him. Needs to start finding his way through if he can, and the crash pads come out. I don't think those were his. They weren't. He's getting aggressed on, and he just crash pads out. Nice play by Accept, who is currently in 3rd place on 42 points now, so he's got 17 points behind Coop, as Class is the only player above him. So he can drop in as well as Accept can climb up there and try and overtake this position. And there it is. The elimination on the Colazo is going to be what does it.
That was so big. He's now at 44 points. He's getting closer and closer. Let's not forget, there's still other competitors in the air. They're still alive here. Big launch pad to come out now to save so much material. He's trying to find out where to go. He even read the zone a little differently there for a second. Had to double check to make sure he was going in the right direction. Now, though, he's found himself in the mid ground, in the high layer. Click still alive, though, even after Elam onto Blake. Early on, still finding his frags here. So these are all players that are still trying to inch their way up to top 10 and break their way into a better placement for more money as well. Except looking back on the storm line now, trying to find any shots. There it is. There's one in front of him. Can he get it? Oh no, he's getting tagged up here, Ozzy. This is looking kind of dicey. Anyone can dive in on him.
Anyone can get in at any time, and he's trying to get inside, but at the same time, he can go in on anyone with those 4 crash pads, and we haven't seen Class too much in the feed, so Class is still up, and he's still pushing, he's still kicking, but he's not gearing up, he's not accelerating, he's not trying to take over that first place position. Coop is holding on to his lead, sitting back and watching this, and he has eyes on Accept, he has eyes on Class, and so far, it's looking good for him as we're seeing this one close out, and I've got eyes on CLIX, who is dropping big eliminations coming into this endgame. Booga in there as well in our 4th place, so we still have 3 of the top 4 alive.
Oh my God.
With the first place taken out, and this is what you want to see for a game. Closing out of Booga, picking up the pace. This is the gas. He's hitting the pedal. He's going forward, trying to find what he can to get back into this one to maybe take first place or a bigger chunk of this $500,000. He's going to keep pushing through, and we've talked about it. Booga is so good in his end games. I saw Class fly past the screen too, Monster. We'll have to see how he's closing this one out in 2nd place.
It's anyone's game, and Booga took out D-Roller, and that's why I gasped there, because that's huge too. Oh my gosh, the response fire from Accept onto Dijon. Another point. Remember, he is so close now. If he can get this victory, if any of them can, that's it. But no, Accept's taking out the competition. His opportunities are over. Class is still alive. He's following up. He's got enough. 53 right now. He just has to stay in it. 120 material and flop versus play. A little bit in the zone now. Zone's not going to pop into his favor, so he has to push through now. It's the opportunity here. He needs to find someone. He's behind, sitting in the zone though. Will these ticks be ones that he's going to regret? We'll find out now. He's going for the box fight. He's going for first place. He wants the throne. He wants to take it here. Can he grab a crown? Right now, Class, no! Loses the exchange to AJ, and it's all over for Class now. He's out of the game.
It's eyes on Booga. Booga can jump up here in a big way now. I don't know whether he can overtake Coop. This might be Coop's final lap, winning round. Watching this close out as we tune in with Who Fishy. Booga in 4th place is our highest player alive. Still left, and he falls. It is. This is Coop's tournament, but we have more money to give out, and we have more people to overtake. Coop has undeniably won this game, but Who Fishy pushing forward, trying to have his moment and jump up, finish the games hot because he started a little bit cold.
Oh my
Gets the elimination. 4 players alive. Can Who Fishy pick up the game 6 win? Bully. We have so many aggressive big names in this one. Bully on the high ground, pushing forward, has that position of command. Can he finish it off? And Bully is so good in the box. AJ falls. 3 players alive. This is the closing moments of NA East Grand Finals Game 6. Bully needs to close this one out. 30 points. He's had a big rise at the end. Can Who Fishy close it out too? Or is Zentil gonna go down a storm? He's playing it slow on the low side. Can he get back out? Bully in such a good position. Has all the mats, has everything, and Who Fishy takes down Till. So it's Bully versus versus Who Fishy. Who's got the better aim? Who's got the better mechanics? As this is going to come down to a shotgun versus shotgun 1v1. I can't see either going for the heal off. No one's going to be able to close it out. It's Coop's day, but can Bully or Who Fishy close it out and get the win to stand on the podium at the very end? And it's Bully